Now I know Razer's mice are really popular in the Minecraft community, but they really shouldn't be. And yes, while Razer's light switches may be good for jitter clicking, you have to take in consideration everything else his mouse can do. And what I mean by that is, how many clicking methods can these Razer mice actually perform well in? Let's talk about butterfly clicking. So the mouse I'm going to be referring to today is the Razer Deathadder V2. You see a lot of people use the Deathadder, and that's because of its nice ergonomic shape and its wide buttons, which makes butterfly clicking really easy. So I took this in consideration. If a lot of people are using the mouse and a lot of people are getting high CPS with butterfly clicking, then it must be good for butterflying, right? Well, you have to be careful what version of the Deathadder you're looking at. So for Razer's newer mice like the Viper Mini, the Viper Ultimate, and the Basilisk Ultimate, Razer uses their newer optical switches. The reason you see people click high CPS while butterflying is because they're probably using the Deathadder Elite, Essential, or Chroma. All those mice use Razer's older mechanical switches, therefore it's easier to double click on. Now for the newer mice that I mentioned before, it's not the same. Now I know that switches don't play a big part in double clicking, but the CPS with Razer's older mice and the newer ones are definitely different. Now let's take Railhawks for example. Now he has the Razer Viper Mini, but he also said that he has trouble clicking high CPS while butterflying. Now it's not that he has a defective copy of the Viper Mini, it's just more proof that Razer's newer mice are not good for butterfly clicking. Now let's come to the conclusion. Why is this? Well, I'll give you my theory. In Razer's newer software, they have a really high debounce time, and everyone already knew this. Now most people assume that the default debounce time is 10, but I don't think that's what it is. When comparing the CPS difference between Razer's newer and older mice, you can tell that the debounce time has to be different. That's why I think Razer is using a higher debounce time for their newer mice. And that's why people are having a hard time getting high CPS butterfly clicking on Razer's newer models. Now I know what you're thinking. Hey Palpatine, if what you're saying is true, then how come I can still jitter click up to 14 CPS? Well, for one, jitter clicking is a completely different clicking method than butterflying. And the reason this doesn't affect jitter clicking is because there is no physical contact when you're jitter clicking. While butterflying, you're physically slapping your mouse button, and Razer is detecting those clicks as double clicks, and what I'm thinking is that in the software, they're canceling out your click completely. That is why you can't get high CPS butterflying on Razer's newer mice. Razer has such a high debounce time that when you're butterfly clicking, most of your clicks are being detected as double clicks and are just being completely canceled out. It's more the software than it is the switches. So that's my opinion on why Razer's mice are not the best for PvP. Now I don't want to be completely negative about Razer, so I will say that their mice are really comfortable and are really fun to use in pretty much every other game besides Minecraft. Now this makes sense because Razer's mice were mainly aimed for FPS games. They weren't trying to make their mouse click 20 CPS while butterflying. But in the end, I just wanted to give my opinion on Razer's products. I'm sorry if you disagree with me, but these are just my thoughts. Anyways, I'm done ranting about Razer.